A very warm welcome to everyone joining us tonight on this beautiful full moon evening. My name is Sushma, and I'll be your moderator for this webinar. A little about myself. I'm a data professional working in the Houston area. I'm a heartful communication facilitator and an active volunteer with heartfulness programs. I've been practicing heartfulness meditation for some time now, and it has been key to my personal growth, helping me develop important skills, shift my mindset, and better understand how to live a peaceful and balanced life. About 7 years ago, I began exploring simple and natural ways to improve my overall health, which led me to meet Ruchika. Since then, I've attended and participated in many of her education sessions, workshops, and benefited greatly from personal consultations that have significantly boosted my health and well-being. It's a true pleasure to have Ruchika with us in today's session, and I eagerly anticipate her valuable insights on integrating wellness practices to deepen inner calm and connection. Today's agenda includes a brief introduction to heartfulness meditation and an informational session by Ruchika. The session will then end with a guided relaxation and peace intention prayer. To begin with, I'd like to provide a brief overview of heartfulness meditation. Heartfulness meditation is a simple, heart-centered meditation practice designed to bring stillness to the mind, peace to the heart, and balance in life. It helps individuals connect with their inner self through meditation, allowing them to cultivate calmness and clarity in their everyday lives. This practice is accessible to everyone, free of cost, regardless of experience or spiritual background, and strives to promote peace, unity, and well-being in the community. The core practices of heartfulness include relaxation, meditation on the heart, a cleaning technique, prayer, and connection. For those new to heartfulness or looking to explore more, you can visit heartfulness.org or join the growing community on the Heartfulness YouTube channel or get the Heartfulness app on your smartphones, where live sessions, guided meditations, and practical tips are available. We also have local weekly meetings in several parts of Greater Houston, centers including Houston, Pearland, Sugarland, Seabrook, Katy, Cypress, and Woodlands. With that, I now want to introduce Ruchika Behal. We're thrilled to have you, Ruchika.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us. I want to introduce her. She is a national board certified health and wellness coach, certified by Medical Board of Examiners. Ruchika is trained in functional medicine and has a real gift for helping people to get to that root of their daily health struggles. She's on a mission to simplify the process of getting healthy and staying healthy. Whether it's digestive issues like GERD, IBS, or ulcerative colitis, or things like weight management, diabetes, PCOS, anxiety, chronic fatigue, or insomnia. For over a decade, Ruchika has been helping clients restore their health and feel vibrant. Thank you so much again for joining us for our webinar today. We look forward to the content you have to share with us. Please take over,
Absolutely.
Ruchika.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you so much for the generous words and introducing me. I'm very excited. So I've known Sushma for a long while, and I have seen her grow and evolve as a person through the heartfulness practice. And I think everything she's done on her wellness side comes together with the heartfulness practice. So I definitely am a testimony for how well you've incorporated practice as a part of your life. So thank you for the introduction. You kind of have introduced everything that I do. For me, I truly believe that getting healthy, staying healthy should not be a complicated process. We have to simplify it. And that is my intention today. Everything that I build today, everything that I speak about today is with that intention of how can you, through practices, incorporate more calm and coherence and just feeling aligned in your life. Because I believe that preventive health is a lifestyle. There's no quick fix, there's no magic supplement, there's no magic diet. Either it's worth it to people or it's not worth it. To me, I have one body, one life, and my purpose on earth is to serve others. So taking care of my body is not just about me, but it's about being the healthiest, the best version so I can feel vibrant but be of service, the purpose that I want to live. So with that, I'm going to get started. I'm going to have a little disclaimer here. It's a little disclaimer. You can read it. You can choose not to read it. Nothing that I share here is, everything I share here is for educational purposes. But I also request you at this moment to close all competing tasks. Being present is like tuning to a radio station with the right frequency. You know, when signals are clear, everything comes through with coherence. If you're jumping between stations or dealing with that static, the message gets lost. And similarly, when our attention is scattered, we lose coherence. We lose that sense of calm. And somehow in this world, it is easier to be distracted, be multitasking, than to do single thing at a time. So really just focus fully on the moment, tune out the distractions. You will automatically just feel more coherent in your mind and body. And of course, I'm looking forward to the relaxation at the end of it. But the clarity will allow you to absorb the content and just foster that inner calm that we're trying to work towards. So today's intention is very simple. I'm going to define what health is. I'm going to talk about 5 foundational pillars to optimize health. These are very basic things that I'm going to speak about. You may have heard about them, but I will leave you with actionable steps based on those pillars to create or increase more coherence and internal harmony. And then we will have some time for question answers. As I mentioned to Sushma, I like to keep it casual, and I'm happy to take questions as we go along per slide. So if you put your questions in the chat, Sushma will moderate and let me know the questions, or I can kind of toggle between the chat and my speaking. Happy to keep the information that makes sense to you, that gives you value, while I have a prepared slideshow, but happy to pivot as we go along. So let's just kind of understand what is health, right? Like nothing fancy. This definition of health was adopted by the WHO in 1948. It highlights that health goes beyond just the absence of illness. So just because somebody does not have a disease doesn't mean that they're healthy. And to me, it's really a progressive definition for its time, you know, shifting the focus from health being a purely medical disease-based model to a more holistic approach. So really health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just absence of disease or infirmity. And again, what does, you know, it sounds all good, but how do you get healthy? Like, what does it really mean? So I like to describe health as this tool with the three legs. And you can think of the three legs as number one, a healthy gut, number two, a balanced blood sugar, which you can also refer to as the energy leg. The third, the regulated nervous system, which is the calm leg. And just like any stool that you've seen with three legs, just give me 1 second. Needed that sip of water. So just like a stool needs all the three legs to remain stable, your body relies on these three systems to function harmoniously. If one leg is weak or out of balance, the whole system becomes unstable, just like the stool. And it's hard to maintain optimal health. So think of balanced blood sugar as the energy leg, right? When your blood sugar is balanced, your energy levels are stable, your moods are stable, your metabolism's healthy. And I'm going to get into the depth of it, but just kind of highlighting it. The regulated nervous system is your calm leg. Nervous system is what helps us manage stress and maintain balance between the fight or flight or the rest and digest. You may have all heard of the sympathetic and the parasympathetic balance. That's what it helps us do. And then is the gut, which is the digestive leg, is again crucial for nutrient absorption, immune support, even mental health via the gut-brain connection. So all these three legs need to be in balance for the stool not to be wobbly. And there are some external factors that influence the three legs. The three major ones are food, stress, and toxins. Now, each one of these can either strengthen or weaken the stool stability, depending on how they're managed. We're going to talk about that in a couple. So let's talk about what are the 5 foundational pillars to optimize wellness. We think of wellness as sometimes this elusive goal, like, everything needs to be perfect, but honestly, it doesn't have to be. Wellness is about coherence, it's a state of harmony, alignment, where every part of your body works synergistically in symphony. Nothing's kind of going in different directions. And that's when it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be in harmony. And that's when you feel aligned, calm, that inner coherence that we all desire. So let's start with food. When it comes to enhancing our inner peace, we often think solely of meditation techniques or mindfulness techniques or maybe breathing exercises, right? However, the food we consume plays a significant role in how calm and centered we can feel, both during our meditation practice, but also in our daily lives. Eating whole foods. So number one, whole real foods. Foods as minimally processed, unprocessed, nutrient-rich foods maintain energy and balance within our body. The whole foods support optimal functioning in the body. Our body is designed to consume the nutrients, the micro and the macronutrients from whole foods, which makes it easier for us to have the right tools for our cells to function. So I think the number one thing when you're thinking of nourishing your body is minimizing processed food, eating the colors that nature has to offer, because each color of the rainbow that the nature has to offer has different nutrients that support our cellular functioning, our mitochondrial functioning, where energy is produced in the body. I love to add in sprouts. If you don't already include sprouts, it could be sprouted lentils, it could be sprouted grains, nuts, seeds, or even micro seeds like broccoli seeds, alfalfa seeds, anything that is sprouted, it is brought to life. When something's brought to life, it is bursting with nutrients and life force. That prana becomes a part of us. Because even when you're eating a whole foods diet, you may agree we often shop at the grocery store where in the produce aisle, the food has been in transportation for at least 20 days before it even comes into our kitchens and our pantries. And then maybe it sits around a couple more days before we prepare it and cook it and eat it. So it is losing life force apart from the nutrients every day. So including sprouts is a one gentle way of just feeling more alive vibrant, and eating food for energy. The other thing that I really talk about is not just what you eat, but how you eat and how you prepare that food. Getting into the kitchen, feeling as though cooking is a chore, feeling that energy in the evening, oh my, I have to prepare food for my family, already adds chaos to the process. A lot of times, what happens is that we get into the kitchen without a plan, get into looking into the pantry and the fridge and seeing what's in the pantry or the fridge, what can I cook today? And as a result, start feeling that fatigue, that decision fatigue starts kind of kicking in. We feel distracted, we feel it's a task, it's a chore. However, imagine a reverse situation where you come into the kitchen with already a meal plan, you know what you're going to cook, you know already that you have the ingredients, the dry ingredients, the fresh ingredients already in your home. If things had to be soaked ahead of time, those have been soaked ahead of time. So you remove that hurried, scattered, overwhelmed energy from the whole process. And it allows you to be more present. And that presence makes cooking a sacred activity because through the process of cooking, you are transferring energy, you're infusing energy into the food that you're cooking. It's just not for you, it's for the whole family. Sometimes it's and it could be maybe you don't prepare food in the house, but again, creating a structure where cooking is a sacred task, it is a mindful activity rather than another chore that needs to be done. So cooking with that chaotic mindset transfers the same energy to your meals, making it feel rushed, incomplete. So to me, it's equally important to eat the right food, but also prepare it with the mindset where the process is already adding calm, the intention of adding in love, nurturing our bodies and our souls. The next part
And
about food is consuming the food, right? Did you have any questions, Sushma?
yeah, I just wanted to reflect that how simple practices that you shared help reduce this chaos that we have, especially in our kitchen. And yeah, I love the beautiful analogy there that we can actually feed ourselves peace, not just nutrients.
It's so true, right? I think just having a meal plan on a paper or writing down what you're going to cook through the week, whatever that looks like for individuals, it doesn't have to be this perfect meal plan that you stick to, but having a plan definitely reduces that decision fatigue and that chaos. Most times, because we don't have a plan, and if you end your work day and you get into the kitchen trying to say, I have to cook something for myself, it it feels like a huge task at that time. This is a question I haven't seen anything in the chat yet, but this is a question that I often get when I talk about cooking with intention, kind of slowing down the process, meal planning. And maybe this is a question that you've thought about. What happens is people tell me that what about if I meal prep and meal plan like for the whole week? That food has been sitting in the refrigerator for probably 3, 4, 5 days before I consume it. How do you think about the nutrients? What do you think? Is it nutritionally depleted? So the answer, there's no one right answer to it. So yes, it does lose nutrients when you cook, prepare ahead of time. In an ideal world, everybody would be growing food in their backyard, sourcing it the day off, cooking it, and eating all fresh prepared meals. But none of us live in that world. We live in this world which is demanding on our attention. We have to do many things to kind of just, raise families, raise ourselves, all of the process of just living. In that situation, if you end up cooking for the whole week, I urge you to have some fresh, either fresh vegetables as a fresh salad or something raw or add in some sprouts. So you're balancing out what you have cooked ahead of time with some live nutrients. Another tip around that would be if you've cooked ahead of time and you're reheating that food to eat, ideally skip the microwave for two reasons. The microwave reduces, it depletes certain nutrients just by the process of heating, and it obviously doesn't heat evenly. The second thing is digestion is a multifactorial process. It's just not, you put food in your belly and it'll get digested. When you heat the food in the microwave, there is no aroma. When you heat the food on a stovetop, gas top, or like a cooking range, the heating of the food produces certain aromas, and that interacts with your senses and starts prepping the body for digestion. So, just cooking with intention. It doesn't have to be about being perfect. Make a meal plan, get into the kitchen with the idea of knowing what you're going to cook and making sure you have the ingredients so you feel calm and just collected while you're doing the process. So we're eating whole real foods, we're cooking with intention, but don't forget to make eating a meditative process. Somehow, I don't know when and what happened, eating became a waste of time. Most people like to multitask when they're eating. Either they're eating on their desk, running between meetings, eating in the car, standing on the kitchen countertop and just kind of grazing or rushing through a meal. Eating is a sacred process. That's the only part of our digestion that we control. It's truly the act of nourishing our bodies. It could be whatever food, even if it were fast food, but if it were eaten with mindfulness, slowing down, it can change how the body accepts it, how the body digests it. So slow down completely, sit down. If life allows, sit down on the floor, make that connection. Use all your senses, engage all your senses. So your sense of smell, sense of touch, use your hands if your practices allow you, because when you use your hands, you can multitask. You can't be on the phone scrolling while you're eating with your hands. So just a quick tip, engage all your senses, your nose, eyes, sense of touch, including including being mindful of the flavors. So, kind of dissect the flavors, think about the different flavors in whatever you may be eating. Chew, 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 chew to applesauce consistency, because guys, this is the only area where you control the digestion. Once the food goes into the belly, there is no control. You're literally left up to your digestive enzymes and gastric juices to break down that food. And as we age, those change. So chew, chew, chew to applesauce consistency. Prioritize eating. Don't make it about multitasking. It's a sacred task. Just adopting this practice not only enhances your food absorption, but it also creates inner peace. You can almost make it a meditative task. I will often hear people tell me that, you're feeding the family, it's the end of the day, I can't do it. Even if you can't do it for all the meals that you eat, choose one meal every day where you make it a meditative process. If you work in the office, you work outside the home, or you work at home, just step out in the sun, sit down. I call it the lunch in the sun, connect with nature, and make it a mindful, slow process of eating. So you're not only absorbing the nutrients, but you're feeding yourself the peace.
Thank you, Ruchika.
Absolutely. The second thing that we need to address as a foundational pillar for wellness is stress. Now, stress is a part of our lives. I don't have a magic pill to remove the stress, neither do you. It's about what can I do on a daily basis to mitigate the effects of stress. Stress is a significant disruptor of inner peace. It affects everything from digestion, sleep, to even our cognitive abilities. And what is happening is, before I go into what's good stress and chronic stress, what is happening is that we are somehow training ourselves. And I'm using the word training. If you have kids in school, or if you've experienced kids going through elementary, middle, high school, colleges, you're training individuals to become people who consume stress on a regular basis, that they can't live without that stress. We were talking about the balance of the nervous system, right? So we have two different states, which are states of our nervous system, the autonomic nervous system called the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. They are two sides of a coin, of the same coin. So meaning they can't be on at the same time. Either you are in a sympathetic state, which is your fight or flight, or you're in a parasympathetic state. So because we are training ourselves to become stress consumers, to really enjoy being stressed, enjoy being multitaskers, it is important to have practices built in our life that dial down that stress. So the first heading says good stress versus chronic stress. Yes, not all stress is bad stress. There is good stress. Being motivated to make this presentation, to show up in time for a meeting. These are all stressors in life, but they support you. Good stress is also learning a new skill, going through a sauna, having cold exposure. These are all good kind of stressors. They make us more resilient. They stretch us a little bit and they make us more resilient. And then there's the bad kind of stress or the chronic stress, which is the mental emotional stress, always wanting to be in every place, not being able to let go in today's world, what is called the fear of missing out, just wanting to over consume everything. Um, Emotional stress can also be experienced trauma. It can come from multiple places. Stress can also be in form of infections, food sensitivities, toxins in our lives, over exercising, lack of sleep. These are all chronic stressors. So let me give you a little analogy around what stress looks like. So if you go to the gym and you decide to carry weight, if you carry weight with the right technique, taking frequent breaks, maybe an instructor, and you gradually build the capacity of carrying that weight, it's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you more resilient. And as compared to if you walked into the gym, didn't have the proper technique, took no guidance, didn't watch a YouTube video on how to do it, carried whatever weight came in your hand, put it on your back, and did not take a break, that weight is going to break your back. So think of that weight as a stressor. The stress doesn't destroy us, it's how we carry breaks the back. So that brings me to the point of switching between a sympathetic and a parasympathetic state. So sympathetic state, as I said, is the fight or flight mode. From a primal perspective, we were designed to be in a fight or flight for a quick burst of time, which is when our body would really divert all the energies towards fighting or fleeing a situation. Example, if early man was being chased by a wild tiger, at that point, all the extremities, the blood, everything would move away from the digestion so that the person could escape, the person could survive, and that's your fight or flight. For short-term, fight or flight serves us. But we should be able to switch back into a parasympathetic state, which is when you rest, digest. People have good repair functions, detoxification functions, fertility is at its peak. All of those are functions of a parasympathetic state. And this switch on and off is a switch that we are losing the capacity because we are constantly in this triggered state where we are constantly consuming stress. For one reason or the other, the body doesn't know the difference between a real stressor or what we've created for ourselves. So there are
I
many
wanted
ways.
to.
Yeah.
I have some questions.
Yes, please
Whenever,
ask. Yeah,
yeah,
ask. Go ahead.
yeah. So, what is the impact of some of the food we eat on our nervous system? And what could be some good choices of food and times when we can eat them, and maybe give an idea of some basic daily practices to incorporate in eating and nourishing ourselves.
So you're right, foods do have a role in how our nervous system behaves. So if a person consumes foods that are over processed, what I will call dead foods, foods that have been sitting on shelves for too long. They have no life energy in them. You are bound to feel dead, right? Like energy transfer at the core of it. If you eat dead energy, you're going to feel, and I'm using the word dead, meaning that food has no life force, has no prana in it. So eating seasonal, eating vibrant colors definitely energizes us. That's why I wanted to include the sprouts. The other foods that deplete energy from us are foods, number one, that are overprocessed, overcooked, or also that have a lot of preservatives or food colorings. Food colorings are excitotoxins, or like things like MSG, red color. These are neurotoxins and excitotoxins. What that means is it interacts with our brain chemistry and it alters it. It alters it to want more.
Mm.
If you ever seen, anyone trying to eat one single chip, one single Dorito, it doesn't happen because those foods are by nature created to be addictive. They have either preservatives, salts, um, different food colorings that lights up the part of our brain that wants more. So those foods should be avoided if you want to have coherence and calm. I'm going to talk a little bit about other foods in the blood sugar slide, but I'll just share it right now, is that the more stable our blood sugar levels are, this is not for somebody who's diabetic or pre-diabetic, but just um, having a more balanced blood sugar impacts our energy and mood. And our energy and mood directly impacts how calm and coherent and how aligned we feel. So example, if you eat a muffin for breakfast, your energy is going to kind of, your blood sugar is going to go up like that. And suddenly by 9:30 a.m., it's going to crash down. And it's going to make you feel miserable. You're not going to be in a state of feeling collected. Often people will say that person's getting hangry. When they're hungry and angry together, they're getting hangry.
Mm.
And that's the impact of food on our moods, on our energy levels, but also how collected and calm we feel.
Yes. I
Does that
wanted
answer?
you to, yes, thank you. Uh, I know this, but I thought you could share it for our audience. How some of these supports that you have in the slide help with the kind of feelings we have when there is some imbalance in our body and how it restores balance and harmony in the body.
Yeah, so let me speak about the sympathetic balance and the parasympathetic balance because, again, we are living in this world and this is becoming more and more important that we are living in a world which is go, 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 do, do, do. Busy is becoming a badge of honor. We are pushing our days to be a lot longer. Our relationship with light has changed. If you observe or if you just think back, the light bulb is not that long ago, but our consumption of artificial light is actually disrupting a circadian balance, a circadian rhythm. And circadian rhythm is basically your night and dark cycle. So, in the morning you have higher energies. When the night kind of falls, when it starts getting dark, your energies start getting settled, you start getting ready for sleep. That's what your circadian rhythm is. The circadian rhythm is also responsible for your metabolism, other processes like hormone balancing, detoxification, because those are all night processes. So, because our relationship with light is changing, it's kind of important to limit our exposure to blue light, limit our exposure to having a lot of artificial lights at night. We were just talking, Sushma and all, before the call, is that, I put this ring light right on my face because just the way of the lighting, it does disrupt sleep for me. So I have to, tonight I have to make an extra practice, very deliberate attempt to quieten my mind so I can keep deep restorative sleep. And deep restorative sleep is one of the most foundational pieces for creating wellness in your body. It balances your sympathetic parasympathetic state. Quality sleep is, think of it like a computer, right? We have multiple tabs open on our computers. I don't know about y'all. I have multiple tabs open on my phone, my computer. Our minds are very similar. We have multiple tabs open. Bills to be paid, social engagements, work, family, somebody extended family, kids, whatever. We have multiple tabs open throughout the day. There could be conversations, it could be emotions, it could be triggers that kind of leave us unsettled. Sleep is the time that you actually want to deliberately close one tab at a time. Because when they remain open, they're draining your mental battery, they're draining your mental energy. Going to bed without fully shutting really leads to a restless mind trying to shut down a computer that has many programs open. That's the best analogy that I can give. To get quality sleep, even I was a person who thought I slept well, and for me what sleeping well looked like is that I would put my head on the pillow and I would be gone. Now I don't describe that as good sleep. Sleep, it has to be very intentional. You shouldn't be dead exhausted and put your head on your pillow and just fall off to sleep. There has to be a gradual winding down process where you close one tab, you have a little nurturing session for yourself. It could be a deep breathing session, it could be a relaxation session, it could be anything. And then you put your head down and you get into a deliberate sleep where your mind closes, body does the functions that it's meant to do at night. So that's if you can prioritize deep, restful sleep every day, you can optimize health in different areas. You will wake up a lot more energetic, you will feel a lot more calmer, and good sleep actually is the precursor to making better food choices, wanting to move your body, having time for mindfulness in the morning, just setting the tone for the day. Every time you hit snooze and you kind of wake up late, what happens is that you already have that hurried energy. You're running late. That's how the day starts. But just for a moment, visualize. You went to bed, you woke up before the alarm, you get out of bed feeling energetic, purposeful, and you have some moments to yourself to whether to express gratitude, to just deep breathe, to just set the tone for the day rather than you're waking up late and then that hurriedness is setting the tone for the day. So if I had to choose one thing, I would say sleep. If you could just optimize sleep, get deep, restful sleep, it can change a lot of different aspects of your life. The relationship with food, movement, mindfulness, the energy levels, and just not feeling chaotic the whole day. The other ways to kind of regularly, and I genuinely mean regularly, built in practices to switch between a sympathetic parasympathetic state are you could use essential oils, supplementing magnesium helps. This is not in a sequence of how it should be done, it's just a sequence, it's just a running list. Nasal breathing, any sort of gentle yoga, spending time in nature, grounding yourself, whether it's walking barefoot on earth, on the grass, hugging a tree, or just spending time in sunlight can help switch between a sympathetic and a parasympathetic state. Having healthy boundaries. Again, just having to always say yes to something else means you're saying something no to that's personal to you. So I think having that flex where you're willing to do things for people, but again, it doesn't always have to be a yes. Stimulating the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is a cranial nerve that extends from the brain down to the colon. So it's a very important cranial nerve because it communicates what's happening in the brain to your digestive system and what's happening in your digestive system back to the brain. So I'm going to talk about that in a couple. So really stimulating the vagus nerve by gargling, humming, singing, even tongue scraping, these are just simple practices.
I love that peace begins with a smile.
Yeah, if you just smile a lot more, you'll find yourself just feeling a lot lighter and a lot happier. It just automatically increases your peace and happiness quotient. This is something that I thought about. Is it important to share? Because I was really like trying to make it succinct given the time. These webinars can get really long and overwhelming. But I did not want to miss out on talking about the toxins because toxins in our environment can actually create chaos. They disrupt our body's natural balance, leading to emotional and physical changes and challenges. One of my favorite or least favorite toxin is fragrances. Fragrances from candles, plug-ins, air fresheners, home cleaning products. And I find that it's harmlessly believed to be harmless and put all over. It disrupts our endocrine system, our hormonal system, but it can also trigger things like headaches, anxiety. If you ever walked into a Yankee Candle store at the mall, if I walk in and walk out, I automatically have a headache. It's just so intense. And we're getting these micro doses of fragrances that are disrupting our inner harmony. And that's one area that I think everyone should kind of become more mindful of and reduce it. The other one is fluoride. Fluoride is found in toothpaste, water systems. Recently, the EPA actually has agreed that fluoride is a neurotoxin and it can accumulate in our brains. So fluoride actually accumulates in our pineal gland and can lead to calcification. So if you're familiar with the pineal gland, the third eye, it's important for melatonin production, which regulates our sleep cycles and other hormonal balances. But also, the pineal gland is your mindfulness connection, it's your meditation connection, it's the third eye. So, just if you're wanting to create more calm, which I know everyone here is, mind the toxic load. Look at the non-stick, the home cleaning products. I have added relationships to it because toxic relationships really can be very draining. It doesn't mean that you cut off, but you have healthy boundaries for yourself. Air fresheners, definitely. Look at the clothes that you're wearing. The athletic wear is loaded with toxins. It's very constrictive, doesn't breathe, so you don't sweat, which are all natural processes. Anytime we disrupt natural processes, whether it's sweating, the night and day, we are going to create more, we're going to be misaligned.
Mhm.
The more we stick to basics and natural processes, the more aligned we would be. I'll just take a couple more minutes and go over this. I know we're kind of out of time. The fourth foundational piece is nurture the gut. The gut and the brain are in constant communication. You know, it's often referred to as the gut-brain axis. And a healthy gut digestive system supports this connection by regulating emotions and just promoting mental well-being. So it really helps with the calm and creating that inner peace. The gut is also responsible for producing certain neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are basically brain messenger systems. So you may have heard of serotonin, dopamine. Serotonin is basically 90% of it is produced in the gut. And this neurotransmitter is important for mood regulation and contributes to feeling happy and just calm. So nurturing the gut with the right foods, having optimal digestion, not being constipated, consuming probiotic-rich foods are definitely important for healthy neurotransmitter production. And apart from that, gut is also, of course, important for digestion and nutrient absorption. So, right, eating is an important part of getting the nutrients. But if the gut were not to break it down and assimilate those, we will not get it into our cells, which can also lead to poor physical and mental health. The last part of it is balancing blood sugar. I know this is not a talk on diabetes or metabolism, but our blood sugar plays a huge role not only in causing chronic diseases and inflammation, but it also maintains healthy energy levels and moods, plus cognitive function when our blood sugars are regulated. So if you just look at that little black visual, if you are constantly going too high and kind of dipping too low, you will be what's called the spike and the dip. You will be moody, hangry, but it also starts causing damage. It starts damaging your blood vessels. It clogs arteries. It changes the viscosity of the blood, which puts the stress on the heart. So from an inflammation perspective, but from also an energy and a cellular mood perspective, managing healthy blood glucose levels are extremely crucial. Eating, within a certain time window, moving your body, building more muscle. These are simple ways of just improving blood glucose regulation. Of course, eating unprocessed foods, adding protein to it is crucial as well. Do you have any questions so far? So I'm going to just kind of leave you.
I've gone through the list of questions that came in and you've covered them, Ruchika. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, at the end of it, as I mentioned, it's a lot of information that I shared around food, gut, stress. Take action. Don't let the fear of overwhelm dictate your wellness journey. Focus on taking small, intentional action, whether how you eat, unwind before bed, manage stress, or just approach each aspect. If I could just leave you with one thought, that inner peace doesn't stem from doing everything flawlessly. It's not about being perfectionist, but from engaging with life intentionally. So whether it's in our eating habits, sleep routine, just having small practices, small upgrades, and cultivating that awareness. So just having that inner harmony and knowing a lot doesn't help us move forward. Information without action is futile. So take one simple, thoughtful step starting today and let that be the beginning of a lasting change. Sushma had spoken a little bit to me about including seasonal foods. If you like, you can scan this QR code to download of the fall produce shopping guide. So, eating seasonally does promote mindfulness because it connects you with nature, the rhythm of the earth in several ways. There's you are eating with intention because that's what nature designed for you to eat at that point. Also, the seasonal foods match your body's changing needs. So when we are moving from summer to fall, our body's nutrient requirements changing. In the summer months, we need more cooling foods. In the fall, winter months, we need more hearty, balancing, grounding, centering foods. Plus, of course, it impacts sustainability because when you're eating with the seasons, you are paying with your dollars to produce more of what's in season, apart from just feeling more aligned and centered. So if you want, you can just scan that QR code to download that the fall shopping guide. And at this point, I'm going to hand it back to Sisma. Thank you so much.
Ruchika. Thank you. So now we're going to sit through a relaxation session and have intentions for peace. If you can please pay attention to what I'm guiding you through. And together we can sit and radiate this feeling of peace. So sit comfortably and follow the flow. Softly and gently close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. Let's begin with our toes. Wiggle your toes and feel them relax. Now relax your ankles and feet. Feel the energy move up from Mother Earth, up your feet, to your legs, relaxing them. Let's take a deep breath and gently breathe out. Now deeply relax your hips, stomach, and waist. Relax your back from top to bottom. The entire back is relaxed. Take a breath in and breathe out. Relax your chest and shoulders. Feel your shoulders simply melting away. Now, relax your upper arms. Relax each muscle of your forearm, your hand, right up to your fingertips. Take a breath in and breathe out. Relax your neck muscles and move your awareness to your face. Relax your jaw, mouth, nose, eyes, earlobes, facial muscles, forehead, all the way to the top of your head. Now feel how your whole body is completely relaxed. Take a breath in and out. Now move your attention to your mind and feel it relaxing. Let go of all unnecessary thoughts. Once your mind is completely relaxed, gently move your attention to your heart and let's rest there for a few moments. Feel your heart deeply immersed in peace, love, and light. And from this space, let's make an intention. Our hearts and the hearts of all are filled with lightness, love, and devotion. And the real faith is growing stronger. May everyone be radiant with joy. And may the entire earth be engulfed with peace. Together, let's silently hold this intention. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ruchika, for your time today. I want to take the time to remind that next Tuesday, we're having our next sixth session of the webinar series with Dr. Manish Chawla. For those who want to personalize their meditation practice, we have a personal trainer that you can use. You can scan the QR code and someone will get in touch with you to help. And lastly, thank you all so much for your presence, for your time, and your intention for peace. You can find contact information for Heartfulness Houston and for Ruchika. Have a wonderful night. Namaste.